Good afternoon, just afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kathy Cruz-Uribe, Chancellor of IU East, and it's really my privilege to welcome you to campus and to the First Bank Richmond Community Room. I'm just really excited to see this great audience today. We have IU East students, we have community partners, and IU East faculty and staff, so thank you all for being here. As you know, as a regional campus, one of our primary goals is to provide community engagement opportunities for students in our region. And this helps both to provide a rich learning experience for the students and also a pipeline of talented graduates who are ready to work in your businesses and organizations. The Empower Wayne County Challenge program is one of many community engagement opportunities that IU East provides for our students. And I'm so excited to hear these presentations. And I'd like to especially thank the Wayne County Foundation for funding this program through their Key Initiatives Grant Program, which, by the way, I did recuse myself from the vote on that one, since I'm on your board. But without that support, this program would not be possible. So, and I'd also like to extend the same thanks to all of the community partners in this room today. And so it's now my pleasure to introduce the leader of this program, Sally Sideshow, who is the Director of Career Services at IU East. But before I let her get up, I'm just going to embarrass her a little bit. I know this has been, she's worked very, very hard on this program, and it's been a lot of work. So Sally, we really appreciate it. So thank you very much, Sally.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for that welcome. It's great to see you all. I've kind of met each of you in different pockets, but as she mentioned, my name is Sally Sideshow. I'm the Director here of Career Services at IU East. So I have a lot of people to thank for this, so bear with me. We'll get started with the main event here soon. I do want to thank Chancellor Cruz-Uribe for her ear in allowing us to pitch this idea to her, but also for supporting and valuing immersive learning opportunities like this for our IU East students, faculty, and staff to engage with our community partners. So I also want to thank Jason Troutwine in External Affairs for his work gathering the community partners, but also working on the Key Initiatives grant with myself. So thank you to him as well. As the Chancellor had mentioned, this would not be possible without the Wayne County Foundation providing financial funding and support through the Key Initiatives grant. So we do appreciate their endeavor and opportunity for us to make this happen. So thank you for that. So I have to read off this because I've said the names of the nonprofits many times, but I do want to make sure to thank each and every one of you. So the Richmond Art Museum is included, so thank you to them. The Neighborhood Health Center, the Wayne County Food Council, Wayne County Historical Museum, and Livestream Services. Each of them provided the organization of the proposal as well as time and space for our students to get to learn and have a valuable experience that they can use to continue on with us here if they're staying with us in the classroom, but also as they go out and join our communities. So thank you to each of the organizations for coming today, but also allowing us in your doors to participate in this opportunity. I also want to take the time to thank our faculty. There were many times that faculty stepped in and were able to serve as guidance and mentors for this opportunity. So within the School of Business and Economics, Dr. Sangha Song. We have Cal Simpson and Tim Scales. In the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, we have Dr. Margaret Thomas Evans, Dr. Minji Parker, and Carrie Longley that provided support to each of the groups. So thank you to those individuals for assistance. I'd also like to thank Kara Blue, wherever she's at. She's been running around. I'm sure you've seen her. But she's been excellent support for us in this project as she helped to recruit students to this and then also guided the Richmond Art Museum group in this activity. So thank you to her. As the Chancellor mentioned, I would be remiss if I didn't thank my family. There was a lot of times that I spent a lot of long nights here. I have a great partner that was able to step in and do bedtime stories and bath times. So unfortunately I missed those, but I loved and enjoyed being with the students during that time. So they're not here, so you won't see them. But the cute little ones running around. So yes, At the beginning of this journey, we did have some hills to climb, but as the project ironed out, the logistics got worked through and we moved very quickly. As you can see, it's already the end of the project. So I do appreciate each of the students' hard work and effort. They put in a lot of time. I wish I could give them more than 6 minutes today, but as we get into the presentation, the students will have 6 minutes to present their ideas and their solutions. We'll then allow the judges panel here at the front to ask 2 minutes worth of questions. Thank you to Blake here. He will be keeping time. We don't have any air horns or inflatable hammers today, but we will be keeping time here and let them conclude their thoughts. But we hope to get you out as close to one as possible. Students participating in this group, as the Chancellor mentioned as well, gained a lot of employability skills and hopeful that they can take these and continue on as they leave us, including problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, teamwork, a lot of those efforts and skill sets they gained. Not only can they use those here, but out in our communities as well. So, as mentioned, we will be running on time with a 6-minute presentation. Concluding the presentations today, the judges will have, they're using a rubric to score the presentations, so they will have a little bit of time to calculate those and deliberate, and then we will announce a winner at the end of the presentation today. So I'd like to introduce our judges panel here at the front, so each of you know who is going to be on the panel. So I have Randy Templin, the General Manager for Dot Foods. We have Denise Smith, the Dean of IU East School of Business and Economics. Don Benziger, the Chief Financial Officer with First Bank Richmond. TJ Rivard with IU East, our Associate Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs. And Judy Willett, the Director of Marketing and Communications at Reed Health. Another thing to mention is we do have WCTV filming, so they might be up moving around the mics, the camera, making our students a little bit more nervous for today. Not that they already aren't. But yes, they'll be filming those. Unfortunately, some of our nonprofit members can't be here today, so we hope to get them that information as well. So without further ado, I will get this started off with our presentations. We'll have the live stream group go first. In front of you is the order of presentations. The judges actually got to read the proposals, but on the back of those is more information about each of the projects that they worked on. So thank you again for joining us today, and we will get started.
Thank you all so much for being here. Our project was to motivate and promote the Dementia Friends movement, which is a marketing strategy for Livestream to spread awareness of what it means to be a dementia friend in Richmond, Indiana, from us students here from Indiana University East. Our marketing strategy consists of 3 main components. We'll be dealing with offline marketing, online marketing, and also an event marketing strategy. Regarding offline, we're going to be focusing mostly on billboards, television, and radio. For online, we're going to be focusing on the social media, blog, and also utilizing eBlast. And for the event, it will compose of a simulation, a speaker, and also implementing some merchandise in that event. For the offline marketing, we would like to focus on redesigning the current Dementia Friends billboard from being more words-based to be more community-driven by including Livestream's current stakeholders. Livestream currently has 4 billboards, and we would like to implement 1 billboard to be to Homeland Security, the 2nd billboard to First Bank, and then billboards 3 and 4 to Indiana University. We're doing this because we'd like to better represent the community that currently are and support Dementia Friends, and we can also do it so we can help support our stakeholders for Dementia Friends, and we can also stand out to passerbyers. Here's an example. This is the current billboard. We'd like to move it into something more like this with the community and showing more community drive. This is an example of Homeland Security. Regarding television, we would like to implement a television banner. Implementing a banner would be able to broaden our outreach for those to be aware of Dementia Friends and what it means to be one. And it would also be good for Dementia Friends as it can potentially be a free option for a nonprofit cause such as Dementia Friends. Regarding radio, we would like to change the current Livestream's radio segment from being more of a testimonial. Testimonials are shown to be more effective and they have higher conversion rates. And we would like to do this by hearing from Livestream's patients families of those patients, or the caregivers that work for Livestream.
Okay, so for online marketing, we'll be utilizing Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So for Facebook, there would be 1 post per week, Twitter, or per day. Twitter would be 15 times per day, and then Instagram would be 1 to 2 times per day. And the content would just be like more Dementia Friends content, and they would be more implemented during the week of May 20 through 26, which is Dementia Awareness Week, and in the month of November for Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And the video content will be just testimonies from those who have been impacted by dementia and would like to become Dementia Friends, and they will become Dementia Friends at least twice per month. And the video content would be filmed here at IU East. So for blog and eBlast, the blog, Livestream will make a post under their news tab online once per week, and it will be just of events with Livestream and then services and testimonies, but also have blog post dedicated to Dementia Friends, and it would be just a call to action to those who would want to become Dementia Friends. And then the eBlast would be for, it would be sent to about 10,000 residents in Wayne County once per month, and we would be utilizing MailChimp for that, and it's just about upcoming events through Livestream. So we would hold an event here at IU East, and we'll partner with Livestream about Dementia Friends awareness. And the event will consist of a simulation event, a course for those who would like to become Dementia Friends, and then there would be free merchandise and pizza as a thank you to those. There would be we would allow about 20 students to be in the first implementation, and it would take place in November for Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And it was supposed to serve as a memorable and impactful event for these students, and we would use professors to market this event. So the simulation, the nursing department will provide a simulation over Lewy body dementia, and it will be held in Hayes Hall in our VR lab, as we said, and there would be 2 groups, so because the room only holds about 10 people, so it would be 2 groups for the 20 people. It would take roughly 10 to 15 minutes, and as we said, it would be about 20 members. And then for the event, there will be a speaker and merchandise. So after the students participate in the simulation, there would be a speaker there for those who would like to become Dementia Friends after this impactful event. And after they complete the course, if they would like to, there will be like refreshments and merchandise for them to enjoy, such as a t-shirt, a ballpoint pen, and a bracelet. And these are some examples of those. And
Right, then here we have our financial analysis. So MailChimp, it's free up to 10,000 users, so that's why it's specifically 10,000. And then here is the cost for the merchandise. And then also this section here is for the event. And then we are allocating some funds to advertising for social media, such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Should we need to have some room or some stretch room for finances, we have allowed the t-shirts to be our budging point in case we do need to have more funds to allocate somewhere else. For the event, we would like to have a t-shirt that utilizes 3 logos, Dementia Friends, Livestream, and IU East. However, Dementia Friends currently has their own t-shirts, so should we need more funds, we'll budge on this and use Dementia Friends' already existing t-shirts. Right, and some sources here on our marketing stats. And yes, so thank you all so much. So in conclusion, by using offline, online, and event marketing, we will be able to implement this and better spread the cause of Dementia Friends. Thank you. So now the judges, if you have questions, feel free to ask those questions of the group.
Tell me more about the simulation event. What will actually be, what would they be looking at?
okay, so it would be putting them in their place of someone who has dementia. So I'm in the nursing program. I've already actually done the Lewy body dementia simulation, and it's one thing to learn about it. I could tell you like all about dementia, the disease process and everything, but it's one thing to actually put yourself in their shoes and see what they're seeing, feel what they're feeling, and just going through day-to-day tasks with that type of disease. So.
Did you discuss how the social media would be handled? Who would manage it? Who would, how that would work?
Actually, we had a meeting with our liaison, and she was discussing how they do have a new marketer who's going to be handling more of social media. So I'm thinking it's going to be her.
How would you measure the success of your program, your marketing efforts?
So currently they do measure how many people are becoming Dementia Friends. If you go on dementiafriendsindiana.com, it'll show you how many are currently becoming friends. So I'm hoping with Livestream we can also measure clicks, and see how many people are interacting mostly online.
So I'll say time is up. Is there any last questions that you might have from the judges panel?
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Daniel Sims.
I'm Pablo.
And then our friend Max couldn't make it today because he had to fly back to Chile. But he's in the video. So.
So we were asked to create a marketing plan to create more awareness about the program to the community. We made a research in social media, and Neighborhood Health Center currently has 377 likes on Facebook, 387 followers. The average posts per week are 6 posts. And based on the last census, there are 36,000 people in Richmond, which 78% of them are adults. From that 78%, based on a Facebook database, 71% of them use Facebook, and out of that 71%, 74% use Facebook on a daily basis, which means that there's 14,000 adults in Richmond using Facebook every day. That's why we decided to focus on our Facebook post and marketing. The next slides, Max, who's not here, is gonna talk about our short-term strategy and more about our plans.
With the use of QR codes and a specialized person in charge of social media, our social media presence will increase drastically. Our likes will go up 1,326%, and our followers will increase by 387%. All this after implementing our marketing plan and strategies. Now, why is it so important for our numbers to go up? As Pablo mentioned before, 74% of the adults using Facebook are daily users. If we manage to make users follow us, we could provide useful information to a bigger audience on a daily basis. In the following animation, we illustrated a casual encounter between two members of the community. One of them is sick and doesn't have the means to visit a doctor. The other person will show how the implementation of our QR code and a traditional pamphlet made it easier for her to visit the place.
Oh, I'm sick. I don't know what I have, but I don't really have any money.
I went to CVS the other day and I found a pamphlet with information about Neighborhood Health Center. It had a QR code that took me to their website and it was super easy to use. I found their addresses and useful information about healthcare. It's located at 101 South 10th Street, Richmond, Indiana. So here we are. People can help you here, and they're really friendly, and they'll help you even if you don't have money.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your help.
Welcome to the Neighborhood Health Center. We are here to help you with any health issues.
Well, Neighborhood Health Center. I'll be sure to tell all my family and friends. Thank you.
Our long-term strategy is to make our marketing internship. By doing this, it was the student to gain first-hand exposure of working in the real world. It allows the students to harness the skills and knowledge in their practice they learn in university. Interns give a fresh perspective to the company, which is good. They bring ideas. Internships provide a way to get candidate feedback about the company, so like a third party, I guess, if you want to see how you're doing. And then this implement helps the Neighborhood Health Center and the college student because they allow the student gets to do what they want to do for their job, and then it opens up the center to attend more important things than worry about the social status. So, long-term strategy. And then in conclusion, to create more awareness about the health center, so we're just trying to use social media to reach out to more people, and that can be like low income, especially. That's what we're trying to reach out to. Mix between technology and tradition marketing, so something like new. Everyone's kind of using social media, so it's more effective than tradition like hanging out, paper, which we just throw away. So, and then a new opportunity for the student, so it's an internship will help both of them.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you looked at any figures about the percentage of underserved people that don't have cell phones or don't know how to use a QR code?
That's why we want to mix the QR code in a pamphlet, so if you have the chance to use the QR code, you can do it, but if not, we can implement like a map and all the information in the same pamphlet.
And those are at CVS, is that?
Yeah, we're thinking about putting them in CVS or and gas stations where.
Okay. Thank you.
One of the descriptions on the project that we received talks about highlighting patient testimonials. Did you discuss how to gather those or how to capture those testimonials?
We think that it will be a good idea to take testimonial from them once they are in the health center, and then we can kind of make posts on Facebook with them, like real people testimonies. I think that will be a good way to show the world.
Any other final questions from the judges? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Aaron Gibson.
I'm Mary Parrott.
I'm Josiah Free.
And our non-for-profit organization that we were partnered with was the Richmond Art Museum. And the project that we've been working on is called Ram Van Go, which is a van that will transport artwork to surrounding middle schools for an educational presentation.
In this presentation, we'll be covering the importance of art education, the design of the van, grants, additional fundraising, budget, educational opportunity, and then further impact.
So middle school is a very important time for students. They're really just starting to figure out who they are and what they like to do. There's actually a gap in art education all around the United States, and we are trying to fulfill that gap and explain art to them and just really get them interested in art. Statistics show that art in schools really help students do better.
So for the first aspect of the design, one idea I had was that we create a unique logo for the Ram Van Go project, something that would be visually interesting and fun for a younger audience, but would also kind of tie into the look of the existing Ram logo, which I used in the middle of it. And for the van itself, something similar applies. I feel like it would be neat to have a fun, colorful design that children would enjoy, and their parents too, and when people see it driving around town, they'd be able to associate it with this art museum. We had the idea of incorporating social media icons and a hashtag into it in order to boost awareness to the museum. People see it driving around or parked in a school, they could look at the social media icons and type in the hashtag and go to the social media page of the museum, which would help boost awareness. And then an idea Mary had that was inspired by some of the murals found around town would be to incorporate an image into the side or the back of the van that students and their parents could pose in front of, take a picture and post on social media to help boost awareness and provide a little bit of interactivity to make the whole experience funner for them.
Okay, so some of the grants that we found to help fund this project. The first grant that we discovered was the Pacers Grant Organization. This is a great organization that helps people all around Indiana come up with funds for their projects. And so for this grant, you can enter in any amount and you may be awarded that amount. We also have the Indiana Humanities Grants. There's one for $20,000 and $10,000 that we could potentially apply and be awarded. And also the Indiana Arts Commission helps non-for-profit organizations come up with funds for their projects as well. some additional fundraising that we could do if needed. So here at IU East, they have the Meyer Artway and Tom Thomas Gallery. And in both of those galleries, all of the artwork is auctioned off, I'm assuming, because it has prices. We could potentially partner with the artist and see if they would like to donate any of the proceeds to our cause. And that is the same with the Barry S. McDowell Art Gallery at Reed Health. And then here are a list of potential sponsors we could get on board for our project.
So while speaking with Lance, the director of the Richmond Art Museum, he expressed interest in this style of cargo van. So the van we decided to go with was the 2019 Ford Transit. So the original MSRP is around $34,000. Tows up to 6,000 pounds, which is going to be more than plenty for what they plan to do with it. Also seats 1 to 2 people. And so this is a few areas to cut down on costs, because I know nonprofits' budgets are really tight sometimes. So they could always consider different models, different makes, different years. Also buy used versus new. That's going to really help them. They can finance instead of buying it outright. And then, like Mary was mentioning, finding a community sponsor to help provide some of those costs. So as far as wrapping the van goes, it's going to be around $4,000 to wrap. And this is another area that they can cut back on costs. They don't have to do this right away. And so the total cost is going to be around $40,000. That's with factoring budget, maintenance, gas, and other things. But like I mentioned earlier, there's room for cutting back costs.
Okay. So throughout this project, we created a contact list of schools in the area to potentially get a hold of them and get them on board with this project. Not only did we come up with a contact list of schools around the area that could benefit from this, but we also researched and looked into some of the pieces that the museum has to offer, and we paired Indiana standards to those to show the teachers and the students they're definitely getting something educational out of this, and it pairs with Indiana standards. And overall, like, this project is just really going to get children interested and excited about art, which is super important. To further the impact, since this is such a large investment, we came up with some different opportunities the van can make appearances at, just to boost museum awareness and get the van out there more to people.
So to conclude this presentation, we would like to thank the Richmond Art Museum for providing us with this opportunity, along with Sally and Kara, and we will be happy to answer any questions at this time.
What kind of art are you thinking would be appropriate to be put on a van and taken on the road?
When we met with the directors at the museum, they told us that they didn't want to like transport anything that's like too expensive or too big. So I mean, they're going to kind of like filter through exactly what they're taking with them, and I'm pretty sure they have insurance on most of the pieces as well. But a lot of the pieces, like in my example that we picked, were pieces that are going to teach kids about local artists around the area, things that have to do with history of Indiana and the country as well.
Would this involve like additional personnel at the museum to go out to the schools, or, I mean, I was just looking at your costs, and, you know, might that be another issue?
That's a very good question. The museum would probably figure something out with their staff.
Well, you did list some sponsors
Any other questions in the room? Pretty awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
When we started this project, it was one that was challenging, but one that we embraced with open arms. Just to explain why, can you please raise your hand if you've been to the same museum in the last 2 years? The same, just any same museum in the last 2 years. Oh, that's a lot more than I thought. Then the point is that we want to create. The project was aimed to create to create something that will allow to bridge the community, to bridge the gap between museums and the community, just to make it more interactive and to bring more people to this kind of environment and just create a space that the community and the museum can both enjoy. So one of the things we did was applications, and I hand this over to Jalil to talk more about that.
All right, yes. My main goal when looking at apps was to increase the interaction between the people and the museum. And I did find 3 apps, Adobe Spark, Flipgrid, and Kahoot, but I do want to go more into detail of Adobe Spark and Flipgrid. Adobe Spark is a very versatile app. It allows you to create business cards, advertisement posters, and it also allows you to make social media advertisements as well. And in the presentation, that's an example of what you'll probably see in the museum as well. And then Flipgrid is also a very interesting app. It allows you to create QR codes and also customize them as well, so you can put any type of information you want on there. So you may see a presentation like that. You can put Word documents on it and things of that nature. Oh, wait, you can hit it too.
It's not, yeah, this is not changing.
All right, and here are the examples of what you can make on Adobe Spark. To the left, it's just a 2020 New Year theme advertisement poster, and to the right is something very interesting. It's a QR code, but it also is something you'll see next to artifacts. So I know in the Wayne County History Museum, there's a mummy in there. So if you were to scan that with your phone, you'll see a slideshow of background information on mummies and things of that nature.
And just quick, we decided to add quizzes and surveys. Well, the quizzes will be a weekly thing, and the museum does have donors that will be willing to give prizes after each week. It's simple. When you visit the museum, you go on the tablets after. There'll be a quick quiz for like students and just to open the general public on the tablets where you can answer questions and give them the survey so they can improve and better the experience for us as customers. So when you take the survey and the quizzes, you enter a random draw for the prizes that'll be donated by the local community members and everyone who feels like they want to get involved in this project. And then next, we just have future ideas. Given that it is a nonprofit, then budgeting will be really tight as all other projects are. An idea is just virtual reality where they'll be able to see the museum from a different perspective. For example, just the mummy thing, you can be the archaeologist who actually went in there and experienced what they saw, what they did. 3D scanning where you can take the tablets and just quickly, like an X-ray vision of what's inside some of the exhibits that you can't really touch. And the museum app just make information just more accessible and easier for people to find and just more information in one little platform. So.
And then we also come up with a promoting strategy. Like the first one is banner with QR code. So we can put them in the different locations as high school or college, and people can scan the code and then enter the prize winning also. And next is become a hangout spot because museum is already a photographic location. So senior high school student can come and take senior pictures or wedding photo shoot too. And to draw more returning visitor, we can create a discount program like third time visit, you get a discount, and a free museum day for certain events. And the next thing is a corporate social responsibility, where we can partner with a local restaurant and ask the restaurant to give out 10% discount of the restaurant to the visitor of the museum. And we also come up with a social media strategy plan because Instagram is linked to the Facebook account. They have the features called pay-per-click, so we can narrow the target down to a specific location and age range, as well as using a hashtag for people to post their selfie at the museum, and they can be entered prize winning also. And next is a website, make a more modern website. So we make it easier for the customer to use. We can buy a ticket online, give out donation too, and sign up for membership. And also, hold on a second. They can give out the emails, and we can send out the news of the event to emails.
So this is just a rough budget. Given that if they do take on our project without the future ideas, they're looking at $1,100 in costs with everything involved, which for an annual fee isn't really bad, especially because they're donations. And given the future projects, it is more costly. It is $1,800, mostly because of software developers, because you do need to pay people to create these certain softwares for you, which potentially will be more. This is low cost because it is probably you can get students to program it for you, so it'll be cheaper, but it is something they can work towards in the future. But in conclusion, I feel this was challenging, but a project that really pushed just because I had personally never been to museums, so it was just a fun experience to learn that we even had one, and how we can bridge that gap between people like me who don't know it exists, and bringing people in just to make it a lot better experience. So, and that is our presentation. Open the questions.
So when you talked about the banners between the high school and university, how would they be different? Because those audiences would be different. So how would it attract high school students versus the way in which you would attract college students?
Oh yeah, I get that. So for some of the examples, we couldn't show it because of time. We actually have some of the applications are actually different to specific target audiences. So like Kahoot is actually an animation type thing where you can, when you scan it, you can play the animation on your phone, which is aimed for younger students. And like the quizzes and surveys, when they scan these posters and flyers, like in a restaurant and everything, it'll come up more professional. We did it in Google Docs, so it's a more professional setting where they feel like it's a professional environment and they're not looking at animation. So we distinguish the difference between the target audiences based on the QR codes and the banners. So we can actually create our own QR codes. And scanning, if you actually want, using your phone, you can actually scan the QR code in that piece of paper you have, and it'll bring up a video of one of the exhibits. I think Todd already tried it. So I know, I would have loved to, like, if you guys want to try it, just Tanner, you can put that slide back up. If you guys want, using your phone, you can actually see.
And did you generate this QR
yes.
code? Okay.
So using this, if you guys want back there, you can actually scan that and it'll pop up as a video, which you'll see next to the exhibits as well. So rather than reading pages of information, you can just scan it on your phone.
Any final questions from the judges? Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. We are the consulting firm 4, and we're composed by Montel James, Fitz Jolly, Kevray Gillette, and myself, Santiago Barragan. So these were the tasks that 4 was given to solve. First off is to determine how a centralized hub might meet the needs of the stakeholders. Second, to identify potential funding streams that might support the creation and longevity of a food hub. And finally, to determine a possible location for a centralized hub. So 4 came up with these 4 phases to be able to complete these tasks. First, to revise the organizational structure, identify a centralized hub, reconstruct the marketing plan, and organizing a transportation system.
Phase 1, revising the organizing structure. This phase consists of 2 parts. The first part is a network agreement. This is an agreement between the current pantries, ensuring that they work in concert with each other, allowing the movement of food from one pantry to another in the event that one pantry runs short. This will ensure that there is a consistent availability of food in the Wayne County. The second part has to do with the current investors. This is an agreement between the current investors, ensuring that they all donate consistently to the business, to the company, in addition to that they don't pull out to their own convenience, leaving the company at a loss. The second phase is identifying the centralized hub, which took us to search realty options for a suitable building. We came up with the requirements of a minimum of 8,000 square feet and/or with freezer capabilities. As you can see, these are the locations of the 2 buildings which we came up with. Unfortunately, neither came with freezer capabilities, but both exceeded the minimum square feet. If you can direct your attention to the map, the 2 distinct points, the blue and the black, are the location of the building in regards to the red points, which are 7 of the current pantries. And the next map gives you a better idea of where the building is located in regards to the rest of the hubs. Now, the way in which we FOR advises to get these buildings is a lease option requesting the use of the building be donated to the Wayne Fulton County, and the donor's ROI, which is the return on interest, would be a tax deduction, and the cost to us would be the operational cost, which is the utilities and maintenance.
After revising the organizing structure and identifying a centralized hub, we need to let people know where and what's going on. So we move to phase 3, restructuring our marketing plan. The company should try to attract the widest variety of individuals by reaching multiple stakeholders and having a multi-generational impact through multimedia marketing strategy. The company would target the younger generation through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter through the automatic posting options, and target the older generation through television and radio. FOR recommends that the Wayne County Food Hub revise the website for compatibility.
And for the last and final phase, which is organizing transportation system, the FOR would recommend searching for a car dealership, preferably a car van with cheap maintenance. The FOR would recommend Wetzel Auto Group because he's the only local Ford and Chevrolet dealership in Richmond. Ford and Chevrolet are the only two. Ford and Chevrolet are the only two car brand that makes cargo vans, and donor ROI would be a tax deduction.
So these are the 4 phases that FOR came up with to solve this task and to promote the long-term sustainability for a food hub here in Wayne County. Any questions?
Have you received a donor for the building? You talked about there's potential donors.
For the building, when we spoke to the Secretary of Business, she told us that they already had an idea for the building. In addition to that, they just wanted us to do more of the work on the surface, so they wanted us to give an idea of who the donor could be. That's why we gave the site, and if they look at the proposal, at the back we gave them options, so we gave them a site and an individual who has enough information to give them on the building and how to go about getting it.
Is there buy-in from, I think in write-up it indicated like close, about around 30 pantries. Is there buy-in from those pantries for this centralized hub?
I don't understand the question.
Well, there's 30.
They agree.
Do they all agree that, you know?
Oh, well, that's why they have to, that's the idea. Well, currently, they do agree to the centralized hub. Okay. That's why we advise them that they reconstruct the organizing so that they know everybody's on the same page for sure when they have the signatures, so they can't.
So they're asking for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you come up with ideas for solving the refrigeration issue?
Well, for the refrigeration issue, we would most likely advise them to get that would be part of what is being donated, because from what the information which we gathered, they have most, if not all of the major if not all of the major businesses here already invested in them. So that's why they would, when they're reconstructing their organizing plan, they would put in the agreement what it is exactly that they are donating. That's it.
Any other questions from the judges' panel? No? Thank you so much. So that concludes the presentation portion of this. 5 presentations in less than an hour is phenomenal. So thank you again to all of the groups. I can't believe that they put all this together in that time. They did a really nice job. So can we give the students again one hand? We're going to give the time to the judges to calculate things, figure things out. The restrooms are right around the corner. I don't know if there's still dessert sitting around in the back, but feel free to get up if you need to use the restroom or would like a drink or other things back there. We'll have the judges' calculations here soon and present the winner. So thank you so much, and bear with us for a little bit. So I think everyone's back in the room. We have a final decision.
It was hard.
Yes, so as the judges have indicated, it was a very tough decision. As you had seen, the groups did a phenomenal job, an excellent job presenting within those 6 minutes for sure. We're not going to name in order all of the recipients in order. We will just call one winner. The students will gather the feedback from the judges and have that out to you within the next couple weeks. I know you're on break. You're like, I don't want to read that. You might. I don't know. But we'll get it to you at some point. So I would like to announce the winner as the Richmond Art Museum. Certificate, as mentioned, there is a scholarship opportunity for these students. But again, I'd really like to take the time to thank each and every student, partner, and the administration for allowing us to participate in this opportunity. And hopefully we will have a meeting with our nonprofits to help implement or help turn some of this information over to you so that you can take it further as well. Because I think, again, as you've seen, they've done an exceptional job, and hopefully you can take that and run with that as well. So one last applause to them, and thank you so much. And